up, guys? This is your boy E, Mr. Technical Misfit itself, back with another video. And you can tell I'm getting my legs back under me. I'm back to shooting videos on the regular, and this is going to be a tech video. As you can tell from the thumbnail and also from the intro, today we're going to be talking about iOS and Android operating system. And it's not going to be a versus. I mean, there's a ton of those out there on the internet, and that is not what I'm going to talk about in this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about my reasons for going back to iOS and consequently going back to the iPhone 11 Pro. If you look over cell phones, modern mobile devices, there's always been a battle between Android and iOS. And everyone has their personal preference. Everyone has an opinion about it. For me, and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be speaking on why I went from an Android phone that I've been using for over a year back to iOS and the iPhone 11 Pro. And there are several reasons why I actually decided to do this. This wasn't something that I just said, okay, you know what, I'm going to switch back just for switching back. It took me roughly about 2 months to finally complete switch over from Android to iOS. Just like everybody else, the first thing that you notice when you get a new device, and this is any new device, I don't care what it is, but in particular phones, is the hardware. And of course, now with the style of phones, the screen. Samsung makes a phenomenal screen. Like, my S10 screen is gorgeous. That is one of the best things I've actually really enjoyed about using the Samsung for over the past year. It has one of the best screens out there. Like, that's Samsung's thing. They make screens. They even make screens so damn well that Apple contracts Samsung out to make their screens on the iPhone. The one gripe I've always had about Samsung, except for the older Note series, like, and I'm talking about super old Note series, like Note 3, Note, 4. Samsung phones just never felt just premium when you compare it to an iPhone. You pick up an S10 and you pick up an iPhone 11, you notice the weight difference, you notice it just feels more substantial. And what I'm saying is more substantial meaning the iPhone. And that, even though it says first world as it sounds, it makes you feel better. I mean, it's a premium device. You expect it to feel that way. You know, that's just like having a car and having leather and Alcantara versus regular cloth seats. Like, it just feels premium. Even though they serve the exact same purpose, the iPhone just feels more premium. I love the way the iPhone feels, and that was one of the things that brought me back, or one of the things that really started bringing me back to the iPhone. When you put the beautiful screen, when you put the size and the way the phone feels and feels in your hand and the weight of the phone, on top of the cosmetics where you get a really nice finish on it, it feels premium. The matte finish doesn't take, or hold on to fingerprints as much as a Samsung. You starting to kind of see, okay, this is the reason why I made this choice as far as the hardware is concerned. So the iPhone wins for me as far as the hardware is concerned, and it's just strictly based on my cosmetic reasons of why. So with all of that being said, was that the only reason I switched? Nah, it wasn't the only reason I switched. Now, I know this is probably going to be one of those things that people gonna be like, are you serious? But if you ever use this, you know why. And honestly, this is probably one of the big reasons why I ended up switching back to iOS and an iPhone. And that is iMessage. Like, have you ever used iMessage? iMessage is definitely one of those things that Apple absolutely have gotten right. Hands down, it's fast, it's secure, it's offering you features, especially if you're iMessaging with, another iPhone or iOS user. It is cross-device. So, you can message from your iMac, your MacBook, your iPad, your iPhone. I don't know how many people out there still have iPod mini. I don't know. It's just basically the perfect messenger. And literally, and I know this is a thing, people will not put you in a group chat if you're not using iMessage because you can't utilize the features. So iMessage is just one of those things that you really, if you've used it, then you understand. If you never used it, I'm sorry. And you can tell it's a big deal because Android is still chasing the iMessage system for their device, and they just can't seem to quite get it right. And that is one of those things about being in Apple's walled garden. They control everything about iMessage, which gives you a really, really great experience. I have to say, iMessage was one of the big reasons why I switched back to an iPhone and iOS, because I hate to say it, it just works. That we got iMessage out the way. This is the perfect time to talk about what Apple is really, really good at. And that is their ecosystem. And the other big reason why I switched to iOS and another iPhone is because of the ecosystem. There are certain things about this ecosystem, and Apple knows it. Once they kind of get you into it, they know the more you use it, the more you're not gonna really leave the ecosystem. And that is one of the things, I mean, for even something as simple as the fact of shooting B-roll for videos that I want to import into my timeline that I shoot with my regular camera. Like, you have no idea how much of a headache that was by not using an Apple device. When I'm using an Apple device, I can airdrop it. I can move it around. I can pick up where I left off doing a video edit from my iPad onto my iMac. They just make it so easy. And I'm not just even just talking about airdrop. I mean, you have copy and paste between devices now. You're able to take a picture of something and import it into a report that you're working on. They just really know how to get you sucked in on this. And once you actually start utilizing it, and it makes your life so much easier, it's kind of hard to go back. Your ecosystem is not just your devices. They have had a way to make your ecosystem your family, and your family that's using Apple devices, and it just makes it so much easier, man. It's amazing how many things I can do just from a small device and then carry it over easily without any extra twists, turns, or download this software or anything like that, and I can pick up where I left off or even start something and then work on it later based on what device I have in my hand. So Apple's ecosystem is definitely heavily one of the things that influenced me to go back from Android to iOS. This one was a big one, and I didn't really think about this until, like, literally I was looking at my mom's iPhone and I was looking at some family members, and I thought about it and I'm like, you know what, that's a real thing. And that is the upgradability and life cycle of iOS devices. With Android, you know, you buy an Android phone or you buy an Android device, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're lucky if you get 2 to 3 years of support on that device. And what I mean by support, meaning they're going to upgrade that device. And these are for Google devices. These are for the Pixel devices. That's not the case with iPhones. That's not the case with iOS. Literally, I've had a first generation iPad Pro up until 3 or 4 months ago that was still getting updates. It's still getting updates. Now, this is the first edition iPad Pro. And you can check out their website. You can take a look. They make sure they offer support and upgrade their devices. And when you think about it, with these prices of these devices constantly going up, and you're paying for an iPhone $700, $800 up to $1,500, you want something that you're gonna get your money's worth on it. You're not gonna go out and buy a car and they tell you, you know what, in 3 years you're gonna throw it away. No. So with iPhones and with, you know, your computers and everything like that, the upgrade cycle and the, you know, being able to just look at the entire lifespan of the device, that becomes a big deal. And when you look at that price and you spread it out over those years, it becomes a little more reasonable. So that is one of the big things that actually ended up becoming a big thing for me when I switched over to iOS, or iPhone 11, excuse me, is I know this is a phone that I can keep for over 2 years and still be perfectly fine. And when you break down that price of, let's say, $1,000, because that's normally what iPhones go for, or $800, and you break it over 2 years, that's $400 a year, and you still have one of the best phones that's out there. So yeah, dude, there you have it. Reasonable. I know that's hard to believe with a YouTube tech channel, but reasonable price over the lifespan. Yeah, upgradability is one of those things. I started this video by telling you these are the reasons, or we're going to explore the reasons why I moved from Android to iOS. So you look at hardware, you look at iMessage, you look at the ecosystem, and you look at the upgradability lifespan of iOS devices, and you have a good combination of why I decided to move away from Android and come back over to the iPhone and iOS. Like I said, I'm not saying this is for everybody. I'm not saying these are great reasons for anybody to switch. I'm not trying to persuade you to one way or the other. But for me, those things taken in consideration are very good reasons to actually stick with a phone that you have, or switch over if you're utilizing another device, if they sound like something that appeals to you. Right now, at this point in time, the iPhone is the better choice for me. It just works for me. Not saying it works for everyone. So if you guys really like this video, man, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we definitely need the subscribers. I need to make more content. I'm gonna make more content anyway because I just enjoy doing it, but gives me a little motivation to definitely make more content for you guys. If you like the video, please make sure you share it. Also, leave a comment down below. I read all the comments. I try to answer all the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Again, you guys know the deal. Till next time, stay teched up.